What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Asia session stream. I hope you guys are doing great. I am doing absolutely amazing. Today, I took one trade, one loss, but you see, I'm still smiling. I built my buffer already on my account, so no matter what happens, I know that if I follow my rules, if I'm being patient, if I stick to good risk management, I am going to be able to pull it off. So it's just a question of time. I hope you guys did well today. It was a pretty big trend, and those kind of days are the hardest for me because they only happen around 20 to 25% of the time. So my setups are usually built for both days, but I would say the short that I took today did not did not pay off at all. So I ended up taking a short here. At around the 35 level when we inversed on that 15-minute bar, and unfortunately we opened up higher and took me out. So this was pretty much it. But if I had to say, looking back at the day, I did not make any mistake. I followed my plan. I stuck to the risk management plan, and the outcome is out of my control. So yeah, today there's gonna be a guest, one of my brothers, and you're gonna see we're gonna have more guests coming in this week. So it won't be a Moss solo. It will be more guests. So hopefully you guys are gonna like it. But we're definitely gonna try to mix things up and you know um, try new things. So we have the open right here. I'm gonna talk about what I'm seeing, what I think is gonna happen within the session. We had a pretty aggressive bullish bar from printing on Monday and closing very strong. And here, you guys know I'm never gonna look for shorts until that previous daily high gets swept. And in fact, it's not just that. I am framing that the next day has more chances of closing bullish than bearish because of the overall context and because the previous day actually closed bullish. So here, the most important level on my chart is the opening price. Why? Because I want to use this level as a tool in order to find if we're faking out sellers or if sellers are truly the one controlling the market. And the way that I read that is the aggression above or below that opening price. So multiple things that could happen. I would say, like, right from the jump, we have a lot of chances of just opening up higher from that 6 p.m. 1 hour candle and just sweeping the daily high. Okay, that can happen. And I think, I would say, seeing the daily closure and how strong we are and the fact that we gapped up, we are most likely going to take this daily high within the next few minutes, potentially the first 15-minute bar. Am I going to answer on this? Not really. I would say I'm more tempted to take scalps with you guys than taking a trade with with micros and building up a position on the higher time frame. This is not necessarily the best thing to do when you're live streaming. Even if it's a good strat, it's kind of hard to manage. So currently, I would say I can see an open being very aggressive towards that daily high, and then what happens after that daily high is very important. A daily high being swept is very important because I will mark out my daily open, and for me, we have a pretty good potential of seeing the next daily candle closing bullish. So my framework is I want to see price accumulating above the daily high, okay, manipulating below, okay, the daily open. And once we are below that daily open, this is the moment where I will look for the low of day to potentially be formed. So then that market structure shift will not hold, so get disrespected. We will shift right back above the opening price and then distribute and potentially close bullish back above, I would say, 176. This is what I'm seeing from the next daily candle. When are we going to put in this accumulation, this manipulation, and this distribution? This is the cues that we need to find as traders, and that's going to be by looking at the opening price, the level of aggression that we have, and also if we can find any buyers within that 800 range. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing currently. um, we could definitely see a scenario where the sellers start stepping in so aggressively that I switch bias, and that would be, let me show you guys exactly what would happen. But basically seeing an open being very aggressive, us sweeping the previous daily high, and then accumulation, manipulation to the upside from the London session. And then when we open up here during the New York session, we are already below the opening price of that daily bar. We are being very aggressive. And then looking at the reactions from those higher time frame gaps are going to be key in order to know if the next daily candle has more chances of closing bullish than bearish, or the other way around. So that's pretty much my framework. Those overnight session accumulation or manipulation are very hard to gauge, are pretty much, I would say, anticipations rather than real confidence in taking place. So I will wait for the best opportunity that tells me if we can look for a scalp. But for me, pretty easy to frame a scalp within this range. I have that previous daily high. If we sweep that previous daily high and close back within the range bearish on the hourly, for me, we have a lot of chances of seeing 66. But if we do break above that daily high very aggressively, especially right at the 8 p.m. open, I will predict that the 9 p.m. 1 hour candle will be bullish and be very aggressive above the daily high to start the distribution. So that's pretty much what I'm seeing. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. Let me know, my brothers. But currently, 321 people in the chat. We need to bump that that number very quick, because we're gonna do hella giveaways. Today we have Terrence coming in, okay, at around 6:30 p.m. So we will definitely host some good giveaways just for that. Okay, so how did you guys do today though? Are you guys green, red, break even? For me, I'm red. Brett, my brother? No, it's not Brett, my brother. It's Terrence, my brother. Today. Haven't traded yet. Red. It's all good. Laurencia, I'm also red today, so I'm also red. What's up, Amos the Goat? What's up, Bass? How are you doing? Bro, I lost 1K during the New York session. Need that shit back in Asia. I feel you, though. I feel you. Haven't traded yet. Red, small green. Okay, red to our red, green, flat. Okay, it's pretty 50-50. I did not take any trades during the New York session stream, so is that Miriam's husband? Yeah, exactly. Terrence is Miriam's husband, so I'm gonna be live with him this Asia session. Good chat. Was good motion. Are you doing motion? I am ready to trade today. What's the count, Tony? We're 18-5. I think we're 18-5. Yeah, of course, the last trade was like a 0.5 R trade. I'm still gonna take it. You know, I was still able to predict the full-on hourly bar. So, you know, you got to give it to me though. So within the last 23 trades, I won 18 and lost 5 here. Is he the Tradeify owner? No, the Tradeify owner is Brett Simberkoff, my brother, Brett Simba. Any code for Tradeify? Yeah, you can use code Amos. Can use code Amos for sure. Shameless plug here. Know what I'm saying? It's alright. We got this. On the Asia session stream, I can do that. On my stream. Do you like the background? Do you guys like the fact that it's do you guys like the vibe currently? I kind of like it. I think it's a good lighting for the Asia session. Now the thing is, Code Amos doesn't give you 100% discount. It gives you like good luck. It gives you like an instant like 3 trade winning streak. What's up, Robert? How are you doing, my brother? So the open currently, I would say wait for the first 15-minute candle to close. If we do close very strongly above those highs, I would say a 45. The next candle has a pretty big likelihood of seeing a continuation back towards that low-hanging fruit high, which is 64, which is the previous daily high. So I would wait to see if that candle closes bullish or bearish before actually entering. But even that, for me, you guys know, our highest probability trade is usually around the 750s-ish, you know. You look like a bad guy with a high IQ. I am the opposite of a bad guy. Literally the opposite. Don't let the heavy mustache and the my small little beard here fool you, brother. I'll take the high IQ though. I'll take the high IQ. Superhero. We expect decent volatility during the Asia session. At 8 p.m., I'm telling you, we've seen some amazing action. So we could start picking up right now. If I see that it starts picking up right now, I might trade the 6 p.m. bar. But I need to be confident in the fact that we're gonna move. You can see it. I'm not gonna predict that it's gonna move. I'm gonna wait for it to move first and then act on it. Once you put the code, you see 3 green trades on the account. Yeah, exactly. Immediately. He shaves his head and wears a crazy hat, like Ming. Serious master villain vibes. I'm telling you, when I have a buzz cut, I definitely look very different. I would say I look like I went to jail or something. I don't know why. I'm never doing the buzz cut again in my life. It's over. Yeah, today we had the stream with Lumi. You know, I kept seeing those jokes again of, yo, Moss, why are you forcing your voice while Lumi's there? You know, like you guys don't have to embarrass me in front of her, you know. You guys already know I'm forcing my voice. Like, don't, you know, why are you guys snitching on me? That's really the thing, though. It's like, help a brother out, you know. I'm joking, of course. I know you guys are playing. You already know the bathroom break was, you know, for me to do like 55 push-ups and have a pump on camera, you know? That's a strat. I don't know who gave that strat, but who gave that strat actually? That's someone on this stream. It was like, yo, Amos goes to the bathroom, does like 50 push-ups and come back. But that strat doesn't work really if you have a a long sleeve, you know. But that's you, yeah. Multiple people said that for sure. What's today's bias? Bullish. Bullish. Looking for longs. So you see how that 15-minute candle ends up, flipping in the last 2 minutes of that 15-minute bar closing. For me, at that point, if you were in longs there, you got faked. Got faked out crazy, like crazy. And I would wait at least for a bigger time frame candle to close, break structure before actually anticipating that we are going to move towards 64, which is the daily high. It could pump from here, but this is not usually what I would want to take as a scalp for a bigger objective. So yeah, it could easily go down from there. I'm always trying to pair an area where I see a lot of buyers, and even if we pull back, I am still confident in the fact that if my stop loss is wide enough and covers most of the range, I'm gonna win. Okay, 15 closed, new one open, and already a pretty fat aggressive inverse right there. Holy. Okay, that's aggressive. That's a massive candle right there. Where's T? I only came for T. Alright, Rebby. I see how he goes. I was gonna say that I watched a few of your streams, and you're mogging so bad currently. I don't know like what you ate or what you did, but like you're up there. You're definitely mogging. But since you said you were coming just for tea, forget about it. Why is your voice so high? Appreciate you, Rebecca. Appreciate you saying I have a deep voice. That's good. Are you trading this session? I mean, yeah, you trade gold, Rebecca. How's gold doing? I did not even check the daily chart. Ay ay ay. Okay, this is not good. This is not a good daily chart on gold. Wow. Love you too, Rebecca. Call her Rebby. Am I the only one who calls you Rebby? Probably. You got those glasses ready for the stream, cuh. Of course, cuh. Hell yeah. Someone on X made a tier list. I do not agree where they put you. Yo, send me the link to that. Wait, where is it? Where is it? Where's the tier list? You send me the link here. I need to see it. Usually I get notified if I get mentioned somewhere. Yeah, full port mo amas, of course, brother. You already know. You already know, Sam. Yo, Sam, you gotta join the new group. Arrête de niaiser, là. Arrête tes conneries. How was your sister's dinner, Moss? Bro. Shout out to you. You remember. Damn. It was amazing. It was just... It was like my favorite type of food. It was just steaks, chicken, burgers, fries, all homemade. So it was just insane. Oh, tu parles français? J'avais oublié. Yes, I speak French. I like to read comments in French also, so you guys are like, damn. That boy knows 2 languages. But yeah, it was very good. Did not tell her anything. I was just like, thank you. Thank you, good job. There any minimum amount of payouts before shifting to live? I don't know. A lot of that is, I think, there are new rules for that. I think if you made like more than 50 like to 70k in sim payouts, you're definitely gonna get put live way before someone who, you know, is doing his first 10k. So I don't know exactly. It's up to their discretion at a certain point, which makes sense. So I don't want to say like specific things that don't really apply. I'm in a long, but gonna try and sleep now. Oh shit. That's true. You're 6 hours ahead. How is it there? You did not even tell me. How is it there? It's like midnight where you are. Yeah, exactly. I told her it was just alright, but no. I ate so much that night. It was good. It was good. That's my favorite type of food. Steaks. No way. My stream lagged for like, I had a heart attack. Do you think price will retrace to the 4-hour fair value gap? Let me check. The fact that we closed above 22, so we closed above the previous candle's high, and we did not close back within the range, tells me that there is still more chances of us seeing some upside before filling the gap. Also here, if I take a look at the distance between the close and the gap, not the gap, the close and the internal high and the close and the gap, this is a 35 handle move, and this would be a 70-point move. So it's almost double. So in terms just purely off of like risk to reward, you have more chances of hitting this internal high than this internal low. So for me, I would see, I would use this gap as a breakaway gap and potentially having to to fill that gap after that high is being swept, rather than needing that internal gap before hitting that high. That will be up to the first hourly bar. I would say, like, if this hourly bar closes strong and bullish like this, which is really what I would want, I would definitely try to long back towards that high. It would be such an easy play. So the best thing we could ask for actually is if we chop, we hang around the opening price here, and then we start bumping back up around the end, and then I long back towards that high. That would be so good. But it is a lot to ask for. We are very close to it, so we would need to retrace again and then bump back above 55 without sweeping 64. Gonna be tight. Gonna be tight. It's not gonna be easy. Bro, I went to I did some boxing, and my shoulder is screwed. My left shoulder is screwed. I was practicing my left, my jabs and my hooks, you know, and I don't know what happened. I need a massage. Moss, have you watched Spider-Man brand new day yet? No. Is that there's a new movie? I'm currently on Sim. I'm currently on Sim accounts with Tradeify, not live. I was live before, but I took 14K out and had almost no drawdown, so that's pretty much what happened. Are you waiting for the 8 p.m. candle? No. Because if I say yes, you're gonna bounce and then come back right around like the 7:30s. So no. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start doing giveaways again at like 7-ish. So then you need to be there. Massage corps à corps. Do you fight matches or just exercise? Just exercise. Just exercise, but I really want to get back into like sparring and being more a student of the game. I think it's a beautiful sport, really, with a non-ending learning curve, and everything that is individual is so goddamn hard. So I like the challenge. You check BTC? Bro, BTC? Hell no. What do you want me to... God damn. It's really hard to say, man. The thing is, with BTC, there is no amount of technical analysis you can do in order for you to take a valid trade. It's probably the most untradeable asset ever. He moves up like 10 to 15% on an hourly chart, like it's nothing. Okay, not that much though. 5% crash. We're still in the range right now, so it's not that bad in terms of like the fluctuations. But I mean, what I'm seeing on BTC, there's a pretty big likelihood, in my opinion, of seeing that monthly gap. Okay, so getting back above like the 70s or 68s, filling the gap here. And the most important part, I would say, from that candle would be the open. So I would say like a good trade for me would be if we open, we go lower first, we drop back down towards the 60s, trap sellers, and then those sellers get squeezed, we get back above 64, anticipate that this is the low of the new monthly candle, get back in here, put my stop loss there, and then target the gap for the first TP, and then let the rest run, potentially for, you know, the 70s, which is probably not going to happen. I think the decision is going to be made somewhere here. If we have a complete failure swing here, I think it's over for the buyers until like the 50s. If we don't even get back towards that gap and we close, in my opinion, below the 57 here, we're gonna flush back towards 49, and that probably is gonna be the biggest level to see a bounce from. Very good buying opportunity if you believe in that asset in the first place. But we have my brother Terrence here. Let's bring him in. What's up, my brother? How are you doing?
What up, Amos? How we doing, man? How we doing, TTV?
What's up? What's up? So can we get some W's in the chat for Terrence? You know, we did a stream, I think 2 or 3 streams together on the trading floor. Went very well. We definitely do have a lot of things in common in terms of like how much we grind. Being able to use sports as a metaphor to make you guys explain some trading concepts, and also just the overall jokes. So and also the, you know, I like how calm you are, and you know, that's definitely the type of thing that I can think of on top of my mind. But W's in the chat for Terrence. Let's welcome him the right way. He's gonna be there with us every single Monday and Wednesday. So yeah, we're gonna try to do something together in terms of like strategies and building up something with the Asia session stream. So I think he's gonna have a little bit more to talk about this. But yeah, welcome in.
For sure. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Yeah, super excited to get to chop it up with you. And just like Amos said, I'll be on Mondays and Wednesdays for the Asia. So super hyped to learn with you, Amos, just to kick it with you and just to kick it with this awesome chat. You guys have a reputation, by the way, chat. The Asia session chat, I've heard, is one of the best and most active chats. So happy to be
chat. Let's go. They heard the rumors.
Yeah. Man, what a day on the charts, man. That New York session, I heard you saying it wasn't the best day for you today.
Yeah, I mean, I say that because I lost my trade, but there was definitely some good buying opportunities with, you know, even using my framework. But unfortunately, I decided to wait for the squeeze and try to go for the sell. Unfortunately, it was just not the play. I was being very patient though. I only need some flip days in order to request a pretty large payout above 10K. So I'm staying patient. You know, I took a short around, I'll show you on the chart, around 11:30ish, and ended up literally being the low of day at that point. So I went for a quick scalp. I was just aiming for the 700s, and it didn't happen. So it is what it is. I took my loss, walked away. But did you take any trades today?
Yeah, brother, for sure. In fact, I'll share my screen real quick here. So let me go over here. Actually, I'm gonna share my whole screen because that'll be a little better context. Okay, so for now, ignore the chart on the left, the Excel sheet, because that's kind of my trading journal that I use. So we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, chat. So if you don't remember from the last time that I was on stream, so I primarily trade orb, and I use different levels of support and resistance to either confirm or refute my bias. So looking at the New York session today at 6, what was it? Yeah, it was right here. So the 650 candle broke and closed above orb. So I entered right here at 7579, I think even. And my target was just 15 points in profit. That's typically how I'll trade. So I'll target 15 points or the next level of support and resistance, like a VWAP and whatnot is up there. And then I'll set my stop loss at the next level of support or resistance, depending on which way I'm going in my trade. So in this example, I entered at 7579, like I said. I put my stop loss like 12 points below, which was below orb, and I think it was previous day high, something like that. And then just wrote it up for 15 points. My process is very, very mechanical. I like to take out as much discretion as possible. So I've back tested and gotten to the point where I trust the strategy enough to hit buy and sell and leave it. And another thing, kind of getting into the chart here on the left, this is kind of how I track my trades. This is like my trading journal here. So I trade off of the orb break and closures outside of the orb level. So on the first orb break and closure outside of the orb range is when I'll enter my first trade. The reason why I do that is because this year, based on my tracking, 40% of the time, there's at least 15 points of continuation in my trade. If that doesn't work out and we close back inside the range, I'll re-enter the trade in the opposite direction, targeting the next orb level. So in other words, if it breaks back across orb high, I'll target orb low. 63% of the time, there's continuation all the way to the opposite orb range, based on my back testing from this year so far, 2026.
Is that like a 1 minute chart or a 5 minute chart?
I trade off the 5 minute exclusively.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, do you wait for the full on candle to close, or while it fluctuates, you take a decision?
100% candle closure. So the candle closure on the opposite side of the orb level is the confirmation that I'm looking for. And if it looks good on NQ and MES, that's when I'll enter the trade. So, I mean, even looking back at July was a really good month for the strategy. So I was profitable 67% of the time, but you'll see 77% of the time, if I would have just stuck to my process or traded each of the days, I would have been profitable. But I ended up 67% profitable last month. So in terms of first orb break continuations, which are all the highlighted here, really, really solid month in July.
Nice.
So excited to see how August turns out. Summer is usually good for me, to be honest. I think the lower volume is helpful for this strat.
Nice. So like, okay, if I understand it well, so you wait, let's say the orb that you trade is the first 15-minute bar. Okay. If we can show my screen, Tony, please. So the first 15-minute bar, let's say we have the high and the low, and what you would do is wait for us to close above that high on the 5, and then buy for it on the pullback for a 15-point move.
Not quite. So what I do is I wait for that 15-minute candle closure. So I trade 15-minute orb.
Okay.
And then on the 5-minute candle closure after orb is established.
Yeah.
Once it closes outside of the range. Yep. So that closes right there. I enter immediately.
Okay, so you enter market.
Yep, market.
And where's your stop?
So my stop depends on the next level of support under that trade. So in this example, it was a previous day high, I believe. So I said a couple points below previous day high. I think I had EMA also acting as support, and I had VWAP that was there, which is a really strong level of support for me. So entered long. It was about risking 12 points to get 15, so just above 1-to-1 risk reward.
That's good.
If it turns out to be below 1-to-1, I won't enter the trade. It's not enough for me. So targeting 15 points. If my next level of support is at a good enough range, less than 15 points, then I'll enter the trade.
Okay, so if this candle ends up sweeping the high and closing back within the range on the 5-minute chart, you enter right at this candle closure with your stop loss here. targeting the opposite side of the orb.
Nope, that's not. So it has to close outside of the range in order for it to be enough confirmation for me. So
Okay, it needs. Wait. So you need to lose your trade, your first trade, in order for you to take the other one.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, I like that.
So I'll take 2 trades max, and they're very mechanical. If they
Okay,
work
I like
out,
that.
then great. I mean, last month it would have worked out 77% of the time. And I'll usually size up on that second candle because it's more of a likelihood that there's going to be follow through. So I'll go in like maybe 5 micros on the first trade, and then maybe 1 mini on the next trade.
Okay.
And then whether I win or lose, I'm done after that second trade.
Okay, that's good. Have you ever thought about targeting the high and the low, or the low of it while it's fluctuating?
The high, the low of that?
Yeah, instead of waiting for you to, see a break.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of different kind of timing that I was trying to look for in terms of initiating my trades, but I found myself getting caught up in the mix or trying to predict, or I would go off of bias or that sort of thing. And so I needed confirmation, and I needed something mechanical and very set, which is why I just had to I just determined that waiting for orb closure was enough for me. In terms of a mechanical process. This is actually an example of it right now. So on NQ, I've been experimenting. We'll get into that in a second, in terms of like how to evaluate a good trade, a good Asia session trading strategy. But this is an example here. So if I zoom in on NQ, we got a candle closure outside of this orb range. The blue line here is orb range. So I would have entered long here. 28951, and then I would have set a stop loss probably below this wick, probably a couple of points below the wick, just to give me a little bit of a cushion. And I would have targeted, I don't see another level, so I would have set an arbitrary target of, say 100 points or something like that up above NQ. And it's easy to say in hindsight, but this would have worked out really nicely. I would have been sweating a little bit on this kind of retrace back. But since we closed this candle outside of orb, I would have stayed in the trade and still been sitting and playing this through. So that's kind of
we're seeing those kind of moves for sure. We do play a little variation of that from the 8 p.m. open because we know there's going to be a lot of volatility coming in. But in terms of like, I would say like the few losses that I took here live were off of 15-minute plays. So I'm trying to be a little bit more careful about those kind of plays because they tend to fake me out during the Asia session a little bit more than during the New York session. So I'm trying to play off of these hourly candles and try to get the narrative from them and seeing, okay, there's a lot of built-up buyers within this range. No matter how deep the retracement is, we should see another candle print to the upside or distribute in that certain way. So currently, I would say, like if you had to pick a strategy right now for the Asia session, okay, would you say you would play off of the first 15-minute bar printing at 6 p.m. or would you like try to play off of the 7:15 p.m. 1 hour 15-minute candle or the 8:15?
So if it wasn't stream dependent or anything like that, I would wait for the Tokyo 15-minute.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
that would be the best, in my opinion, for sure.
100%. But I mean, you actually that's actually a decent segue into what I was wanting to bring up to you, Amos, which was trying to find a solid strategy live on stream, kind of with the help of the stream. So I can kind of show you what I mean by that as I have my little show you. Oh, okay, cool. So I'm sharing that screen. Okay. All right, so can you see this?
Yeah, I see.
Look at this, bro. Such a flipping nerd.
That is so tough.
So this is what I'm trying to do, chat. I want to evaluate a bunch of different strategies and trade them, backtest them, get some feedback, maybe even educate some folks on what the different strategies are, and see how successful they are during the stream. So, for example, rules of engagement. For each strategy, I want to take 100 trade minimum. So at least 100 trades for each strategy. It's not a ton, to be honest. I'd like to do a lot more, but at least what it'll do is it'll give me a starting point, kind of a baseline to see what's a good strategy. I'll get to that a little bit more in a second. A 2-week evaluation window for each strategy. So what the plan is I'll trade these strategies every single day. I'll be on stream Mondays and Wednesdays, kind of upgrade or update the chat on the status of these. And then any trades that however far away from 100 trade minimum for each strategy, I'll just backtest. So each strategy is also going to be graded on a 1 to 5 scale. And I'll show you what I mean in just a second. So mechanical clarity, I talked about my strategy and how it's super mechanical. There's not a lot of like ambiguity. So there'll be a grade for that. Win weight for each trade, profitability for each strat, and then consistency. What's my largest win? Am I winning consistently, or is it just home run or strikeout type thing? And then I'll take an average of those scores and get a composite score out of 5. Now the rules, the general experiment, the goal again is to identify a successful, repeatable strategy. Controlled variables, okay, for all you nerds out there, the variables that are going to remain the same is the instrument. So since we're doing Asia, Amos, I've been wanting to get into gold, to be honest. I thought about trading gold for this experiment, but I'm less familiar with it, so it might be another added variable. So maybe we can talk about that a little bit later. And then of course, session is Globex/Asia, obviously. Each trade is going to be 3 micros. Number of trades, 100. We talked about that. Whoops. And then the independent variables, the variables that are changing, are the strategies being tested. No hypothesis or conclusion yet. I'll update those as the strategies come. But here's kind of the early tentative list of strategies I was wanting to kind of go through. So 15-minute orb for Globex, not Asia, just for the timing of the stream, was number 1, just because that's what I'm most familiar with for my New York strategy. And then we can kind of play with this, maybe see what chat wants to evaluate, throw some different strategies in there if we want, and then kind of just update weekly or every 2 weeks type of thing.
I like that. Yeah. What a beautiful plan.
Oh.
Okay. So I am 100% down for that, for sure. And also like putting in some work in backtest to gather my own data on it. If I had, let's say, to spend some time on the backtest to do it, I would want for sure to look at the Globex. So I don't know if it's exactly 8, but I would want to trade from like 8 to 8:30.
Yeah.
That would be pretty much, yeah, just to use this volatility in my advantage. But yeah, I'm super hyped for this, for sure. I definitely want to start doing this a little bit more and keeping track of the results, and so people in the chat know actually what strategy we're trading, you know.
Yeah,
that would be cool for sure.
So maybe that's something we could either catch up with off the chart, Amos, or even ask chat now if there are strategies that they want us to go through. But I did want to address a couple of these questions real quick. Sorry, because I see them in here. So
Yeah.
We Buy House UK asked, why do you look at the 15-minute orb versus the 1 hour initial balance? 1 hour will have more information than 15-minute candle. I used to trade orbs, but used to get a lot of fake outs. So totally hear you. And to be honest with you, initially, what got me into backtesting this and evaluating this was primarily my work schedule. I still have a 9 to 5 after this. So I had a relatively short window for when I could trade. So the 1 hour IB is something that I've explored, but all of my backtesting and everything and what I got started with was 15-minute orb, purely based off of schedule. So I agree with you. IB is solid. It's more data. The 15-minute orb's been working really well for me. There was one more I was going to address. I saw something in here. Terrence, what markets are you going to consider? Will you include Euro and Asia as well? So I trade the New York session every single. That's my go-to, the open of the New York session. But I also trade the Asia, the Globex session. So I'm only considering this session for this evaluation because I've done all my evaluation for the New York session. So yeah, I think it'll be fun. I'm excited.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely down to do that for sure. 'Cause it will push me to back test. It's been a long time I haven't back tested, but you know, definitely gonna do it for sure. I'm down. There's some studying.
Heck yeah, bro. Oh, there was one more comment that I forgot to address. So somebody was saying that I should do this with AI. I mean, AI is such an amazing tool for sure. But for me, I really want to get good at this, understand it, and learn it. So for me, it's helpful to do a much more mechanical process. It's slower, 100%, but I start picking up on patterns. I start recognizing other things that I might not have paid attention to if I was simply plugging it into a chat. So I'm not knocking any sort of AI bots or anything like that because they're amazing tools for traders, 100%. But for me, I need a little bit more mechanical, hands-on type thing.
I'm currently gonna look for longs actually, Terrence, in the chat. I'm gonna look for a potential long opportunity to scalp the daily high right here. If I see an hourly candle closing above, I would say the 40s, no, the 50s exactly, I will anticipate that we will have a pretty large distribution back towards 65. So I'm looking to see how that next 5-minute bar is going to close and then potentially anticipate a move from that. So if we can retrace slightly deeper within this range and then pump back up, that would be an amazing entry for me. So I'll definitely look for that. It is pretty rare that I will trade this this candle. Usually I always trade at around like 750-ish, but today I really like the setup. I like the fact that we have the daily high as being the easy money trade, so I'll try to look for it within the next few minutes.
Man, you've been catching some dubs during the Asia session, haven't you?
100%.
Like a pretty good win rate.
Yeah, it's like 18 wins, 5 losses within the last 23 trades, so definitely definitely a good run, 100%.
Man,
Yeah.
that's money.
Yeah.
Chat,
We need to keep that streak going though.
Heck yeah, bro. I was just gonna say, Miriam in the morning. So for those of you that don't know, Miriam's my wife, Matcha Mama. She always has her latte and her matcha, and I got my little latte right here. Chat, how hard is it to look manly, drink it through a straw? I be hating these straws, but Miriam always gives them to me, to be honest. But fire.
What are you drinking?
It's a latte, an espresso latte.
Okay, latte, okay. You put vanilla shots?
So not like the taste of vanilla, but like some of the shots are vanilla flavored. Straws suck. That's good. But Miriam got me on this whole like little recipe, bro. It's so bougie. So there's honey in there. There's some Himalayan salt, and like sometimes she'll put like a cinnamon stick in it. It's like she has me all sorts of bougie when it comes to coffee. I used to just drink like black pressed coffee.
Nice. I also always drink lattes, actually. No sugar, just straight lattes. But I have to stop drinking at around 4 p.m. or I'm not gonna sleep. It's hitting too hard. Coffee's hitting too hard for me, so.
And I hear you. Dang, they got a score sheet up there for you and everything.
Yeah, you see? Yeah. Shout out Tony for that. Yeah. We definitely do have a little score sheet right here. 18-5. Let's put it 19-5 today with that next trade I'm gonna take. I would want to see if we can close very strongly on this bar. I potentially have my stop loss sitting below 18, building up a position within that range. But for me, I am only seeing that daily high being taken out. I don't see any reversals being possible before seeing that high being taken out. That's pretty much where I am. So, you know.
Just purely based on the strat, on the strat that I was just describing, so 15-minute orb strat. If this candle closes, so I was talking and missed it, wasn't paying attention before, but if this candle closes in 48 seconds, this 5-minute candle, I'll enter short and target the orb low. This will be the first experimental trade.
Damn, we're gonna fade each other on the first stream, bro.
We are. He's blaming me. Chat. He does it on his own. Yeah, it's true. She got me into it. She got me hooked. Let's see. Yeah, we're pushing above. Let's see. 15 seconds till candle closure. Let's see. 5, 4.
You gonna answer shorts?
It closed above. Wow, it pushed up. Closed above the orb level, so no short.
I'll stay patient currently. I think like I just need to make sure my framework's being respected totally and not disregarded within the last 5 minutes. Usually, like, I would say during Asia it's pretty smooth, but we never know. We never know.
And yeah, look at all this. We just pumped up all day and then just consolidated for the afternoon session. That looks messy, bro.
Yeah. Literally the most untradeable day for me, I would say. If you caught that long from the open, yeah, you're rich. You make quite some money.
One area of improvement for my strategy that I could really start looking into is holding on to maybe having a runner or something like that when I'm in multiple micros, because currently how I trade, I'm capped out at 15 point max win. So I mean, on days like today, it's tough to see the market just continue to go up when I just caught this little tiny bit of it down here, 15 points.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let's see how it goes here. Let's see if it pushes.
Right, Terrence, there's no wick. There's no top wick on the 15-minute candle. You have the 15-minute candle on your chart, right, Amos? You have 5 and 15 on the side.
I have 15 here. There is a super small little up wick.
Which is a bullish signal for you?
Yeah, usually like if there is no top wick from a candle, every single candle usually has a open, high, low, and close. But in Asia, this is pretty much like, it doesn't really apply to the Asia session because it's a session with the lower volume. So there is going to be way more candles with those no top wicks or no bottom wicks. So I don't really use it as a concept during the Asia session. I use it more during the New York session. But even that, like, it's too subjective in a way where, okay, you have no up wick or no bottom wick. When are you going to enter? You know, even if you know there's no top wick or bottom wick, like, do you have a strategy built off of this concept to know where to put your stop loss and take profit? I don't. It's just like an extra added confluence. But I would say here we still have a top wick, even if it's super small. But the fact that it's during the Asia session makes it so much less valuable information.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Amos, it seems like one of the beauties of your strategy is it can be implemented at any time during the day, right? Like,
Absolutely.
do you see much change in your strategy or your entries or execution in different sessions of the day?
I would say it's really about the time that I spend in a trade, it's going to be slightly different from New York session to the overnight sessions. I don't necessarily like actively trade after 8:30 p.m. because of, you know, health benefits of not doing it. I would say, but yes, my framework does apply to any kind of session. It is just more about how much time am I going to spend within the trade and how big is my stop loss. Sometimes I'll let a little bit more room during the New York session, knowing that it is more, there's more manipulations compared to those overnight sessions. So yeah, I would say those are the two things that I really watch, but both are great sessions to trade for sure with my framework.
So no overnight swing trades for you?
No. No. I've done that once with my live account. Turned out really well. I hit like my limit got triggered during the London session. It was more of a daily candle play, and I ended up making some good money, but I was not comfortable. I always like second guess and look at my limits at like 3 a.m. It's like, no, I don't want to do it anymore. I actually woke up at like 7 a.m. that day.
Dang, experimented with the swing trading on the live account.
Yeah. I did, but not for the right reasons. Not the swing trade. It was like more of a, yo, I need that trade to go to win. I need a big win. It was more about this one,
You needed that win in the win column.
Yeah, I needed that win. I needed that win for sure.
It seems like pretty.
We're currently at 212 likes, chat. I'm gonna start being greedy for the like goals. You guys already know. First like goal for a 150k select account. Let's do 350 likes. Okay, we're currently at 212. Almost 800 people in the stream. So shout out to every single one of you who are watching. But we're gonna host hella giveaways tonight, so make sure to smash the thumbs up and show some love in the chat. Let's see here. It's not the type of closure I really wanted. That's very weak. Very weak. Even if we end up pushing, that's a little bit too weak for me.
Have you tapped into gold at all? Has Lumi got you curious and into gold on your stream?
Actually, yeah. I've asked her for her analysis on gold, and try to ask her some question about gold. But to be completely honest, I am not interested in trading gold. I'm just not. I tried to back this like quite some, let's say like few months, and it's just so difficult to scalp. I would say like it's more of an asset where you need to have a higher risk to reward, because those moves, when they go, and it's a little bit different than NQ in terms of price action. Of course, right now we're seeing some very good distributions, of course, but it's not always like that during the days, and it's a little bit more. There's more consolidations on NQ than gold. That's what I would say in general.
Okay, yeah.
What do you think? Like, you're thinking about starting to trade gold?
Yeah, I've been considering it. The only the thing that's difficult with me is one, the tick value. So it's very, what is it, $100 a point, I think, in golds, which isn't super appealing to me based on how I trade. I trade with base hits and usually don't want to risk.
You can trade MGC.
And MGC is, if I was to trade it, I would trade that. I would trade a micro, which is what, 10 points? Yeah. And I've been considering it. Yeah, I've been considering it. The only thing is I like to trade ES exclusively, but I use NQ as confirmation of my bias. On gold, I don't really have that luxury with another chart. So for example, oftentimes during New York session, it seems gold and NQ will fade each other. But during the Asia, it seems they'll oftentimes be congruent, which it's hard for me to use another tool. It takes away additional tools for my bias, confirming or refuting my bias, which I don't love. So I really need to take a look at it and do some digging and some back testing in order to see how to evaluate it. If I can evaluate it the same as I do ES, or have to come up with a new tool of evaluation. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. I think a lot of people, when they trade gold, they either look at DXY or silver. Silver for like divergences between highs and lows, and DXY for like added structure. They're like, okay, that's what I'm seeing on DXY. I think price is going to go down. And if they think price is going to go up on gold, then at that moment when both structures are selling the same thing, one buy, one sell, then I think a lot of people take trades off of that. I would say for me, the thing with gold is really about the schedule. Like it moves well during the Asia session, but it stops moving. Let's say during the New York session, it stops moving at around the lunch hour, and I love PM sessions. You're in shorts?
I did enter short. Yeah, I didn't mean to put you off there.
Good.
But
order filled.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, based on the candle closure inside, I was trying to get back into that original orb break that I missed, which was the 3 or 6:45 candle your time.
Yeah.
And since I had missed it during the call, I was waiting for some sort of retrace back to that level, but also candle closure inside of the level. So I entered. Oh, it's not showing. Oh, my bad, y'all. MNQ. Let me jump over here. Okay. Yeah, with like a stop loss above the high, and then I'm gonna have to evaluate and see. Oh yeah, I'm gonna target orb low, so 28918. So let me go back over there. 29. What was it? 818. Is that right? Sorry to jump around, everybody. Yeah, 28918. I'm gonna target 28918. Yeah, right here. Boom. Let's see. In 3 micros right now, so up $100 right now. Let's see if we can go and hit it. Stop loss is just above the high again, so 28965.
Someone said, "Are you using Bookmap?" I know Miriam is using it, but
yeah, I'm married to the Bookmap queen, but no Bookmaps yet. I'm reluctant to add any more tools just because I'm still trying to stick with my process, stay mechanical. I'd like to expand to Bookmap, but for now, no Bookmap for me. But once Miriam comes out with that course, I'll be getting on it. So Miriam, if you can hear me, I need that Bookmap course, and I need the discount too.
Is there any Bookmap course out there or like videos explaining the concepts? I never try to watch any.
Yeah,
maybe there is.
From what I've seen, or from what Miriam has said, I haven't seen very many at all. It seems like there's just courses out there that teach you how to use Bookmaps, but not so, like just general how to set up, but not necessarily how to like use it as a strategy.
Yeah, frame a trade.
Yeah. Yep. 3 micros in this. So I'm trading a 50K account, and this is I've deemed this the experiment account. So the experiment that we talked about at the beginning of the stream is this account is purely going to be used for the experiments. So don't want to trade too heavy. Want to stay nice and light. 3 micros is the consistent controlled variable.
It's going well so far, no? So like Is there any point where you would go break even? Let's say once that 5-minute bar closes, would you like consider the fact that, okay, the next one needs to be bearish also, or do you, it's not something you really care?
100%. Yeah. So typically what I do, and when I'm trading ES in the New York session, is once I get to 10 points in profit, and this is controversial to a lot of people, I know, but once I get to 10 points in profit, I move my stop to break even. And the reason for that is because, in my opinion, as a day trader, my job is risk manager, to manage my risk as much as possible. So I want to minimize potential to lose. So I'm, in a lot of people's eyes, I'm quick, relatively quick to move to break even. But on NQ, I don't have that marker quite yet, like the 10-point reference. You know what I mean? So I would like to see this candle close with less of a bottom wick, a bullish wick. So there's 10 seconds left, and it's kind of looking like a bullish candle, which I don't love. So we'll see. Yeah.
You said you went break even fast, but let me tell you one thing for anyone in the chat that I saw so many clips of it on TikTok and Instagram shorts, but the inversion gap traders that are trading that model on the 30-second, it has to stop, bro. They put their stop loss to break even in 5 seconds. Literally 5 seconds. For anyone who knows what I'm talking about, bro, please just comment in the chat and tell me I'm not the crazy one. That way of trading has to be, you know, I don't hate usually, but putting your stop loss to break even after 5 seconds in like an internal high that is located 3 handles away from you is crazy to me. It's definitely crazy.
So there's no, like, oftentimes what I'll do is I'll kind of, depending on whatever support and resistance that I have protecting my trade, maybe what I'll do is I'll scale my stop loss. So if I haven't gotten to, if market's looking extra volatile or there's some crazy news that's going to come out, I'll maybe move it closer to the next area of support or resistance. So I guess that's the small part of like a science, I guess, or like discretion that I use. But primarily, once I get to 10 points, I'm break even.
Okay.
For like half a tick, half a point in profit. David Paxton, Orb is the craziest strategy ever and one of the easiest. Yeah, it's super straightforward in my opinion, which is one of the reasons why I really liked it, or really like it.
It is very good, but like I said, like a lot of people went up to me and said, like, the orb is not a good strategy because it's known, let's say, and it's like when a strategy is, you know, traded by everyone, then it loses its edge. And the thing that I will say is that, number one, our orders are not even hitting the book in the first place. So for anyone who's trading props, that doesn't really apply to us. And the orb, like, there are just highs and lows with statistics of, okay, there is that amount, that percentage of chance of seeing that high being taken out, or that percentage of chance of seeing that low being taken out, or when we break here, then there's this amount of points above or below, etc. These are just mechanical metrics. What you really need to understand is when you need to stay out. As soon as you understand this and you have that initial workflow where you know you have pretty good edge in terms of, when I enter, there's that likelihood of us seeing a new high. There is edge to be extracted in that strategy, even if it's known. But your ability to not take those unnecessary losses is definitely what is going to bring you the biggest edge. You know, when are you staying out? When are you actually waiting for the next day to anticipate a move and not just acting on every single orb? That's pretty much how I view it. And I don't I still see a lot of value in trading the orb, or a lot of people trade IB now. They are great strategies. It's just, if you're taking every single one of them, you're gonna get cooked. That's for sure. That's 100% certain. But if you have enough rules that will limit the amount of trades that you're gonna take and increase your win rate, there is edge to be extracted to that strategy for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I mean, for me, after the first two orb breaks, orb has now been validated. Like that at that point, I don't continue to trade. I'm done after that for the day, because of exactly what you just said. It seems like it doesn't entering every single break just doesn't seem like sustainable or realistic for me, because where is the merit in orb? There's a couple things here. So chart data, 15 points is what I target on ES in the New York session. But in this particular session, I entered at 28940 and I'm targeting 28918. So roughly, what is that? Bad math. I guess 22 points. Oh wow, that's actually crazy. I thought it was way more than that. Asia session, just I'm not used to how slow.
Yeah, that is like the first, like the 6 p.m. 1 hour candle is always pretty like a lot of consolidation. It's not a pretty big distribution. It's only 42 handles for that whole hourly action. So not a lot of action here. I usually trade anywhere from like 7:30 to 8:15. That's usually the sweet spot when price really starts to move. So hopefully it moves your way before giving me a buy entry.
I hear you. Yeah, I mean, there's a orb and EMA intersection right now, that's forming just above this candle. So it looks like, well, it had responded off of VWAP pretty nicely. The blue line here is VWAP, by the way. It's session VWAP, so for the whole day. And then I have the 9 EMA in white here. Oh man, that was an interesting little pop that we got there. But yeah, so EMA I don't love to use as support or resistance, just because it's a function of more so just to track the trend. But in terms of VWAP, I really like to use that as support and resistance, because it's a function of volume and price. So EMA changes over the different time frames, but VWAP remains the same, which I really like about that. Use volume orb. He loves Big Daddy Max. Yeah, interestingly enough, I think Big Daddy Max had come on stream. Oh man, a solid pump. Is this what you were looking for?
Yeah. Exactly what I was looking for, actually. Let's see.
But yeah, BDM had gone on stream a long time ago. I think it was one of their first streams, and they were talking about orb, and that was when I had just started to get into orb. So I went and did a little dive into their page. I'm not big on like the crazy theatrics and antics of BDM. BDM seems cool and everything, but it's just not my typical vibe.
Yeah, I met them in Miami, and let me tell you one thing, is that those guys are funny outside of the camera. And like, they have it. Like, they're actually very funny guys. They're great guys. I love them. So
oh my gosh, lost camera. Sorry, y'all. Let's see. I might have to switch to the. I think my camera overheated. I've been having issues with that. We're going to the. I guess we're going to the computer camera. Sorry to cut you off, Moss. You can see me?
That's all good. No, don't worry, bro. You look even better in that angle.
Angles, bro. That's my good. Man, so What's the story, bro? Last time I heard there was some potential contenders, lady contenders, bro. Like, any updates or what?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, I remember saying that to you.
This guy
Shit.
said multiple.
I think I jinxed myself there. That woman is gone. That is over. Shit. But that was my fault though. That was my fault.
It was your fault.
Yeah, it was my fault.
Did you show her the charts? You tried to teach her some ICT stuff, and she was out of there.
Hell no. Hell no. I told you already. I don't want my woman to have anything to do with trading.
I
think
do.
I speak about trading enough for me to have trading conversation with my woman. But you know, I respect you and Miriam a lot. I know you guys are definitely having those conversations. So I don't know though, but you tell me.
Yeah, bro, for sure. I mean, holy push.
Yeah, I'm definitely very interested in that long, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, it's so cool because Miriam is the one that got me into trading. So she had been trying to get me into trading for the longest. She just said that she thought, just based on how my mind works and my temperament, she thought that it would be a good fit. So excuse me. So I started to get into it. At first, of course, I thought it was gambling. I thought this was like for degenerates, just wasn't sustainable. But after I finished football, I had always been kind of looking for what the next thing was going to be, and just all of the discipline and consistency and practice and just like delayed gratification that goes into trading reminds me so much of football. Just like you were talking about how like sports, right? Like I know you talk about combat sports or soccer.
Yeah.
Like the parallels are beautiful. So here I am now. Shout out Matcha Mommy. Shout out Curly Trader.
Wait, so I had questions about your career because I'd never truly had the chance to like ask you those kind of questions. So like you were going to the CFL, right?
Alouettes, baby.
Canadian Football League. Okay, in Montreal. Okay. And was like COVID the reason why it all stopped?
It was exactly why. So
Okay,
the 2019 season, I believe it was, the CFL canceled their entire season because of COVID.
yeah.
So yeah, I'd worked out with an NFL team. I was invited to work out with the Seattle Seahawks. Worked out with them. Workout went amazing. Like I thought they were going to give me a shot, and I never heard from them. They drafted DK Metcalf that year. That was the year they drafted DK. So they got their big body receiver in the draft, and I think that was it for me. So I never got any more NFL calls. But yeah, the Montreal Alouettes, I was supposed to go play with them, and the season canceled. So I went and played arena football, actually, in North Carolina, which was...
What is it exactly?
Arena football. So imagine Terrence just came in like an unk at the barbecue asking you about his love life. You guys are Asian me. But so arena football is basically, imagine playing football on a hockey rink with turf. So you can bounce off the walls, and the walls are padded.
Okay.
Super fun. You can get a running start similar to CFL.
Okay.
And it's an absolute blast, but bro, they just don't pay anything. Like it was like $300-400 a week, I think, to like be destroying your body, and just wasn't sustainable. So after one season of playing arena football, I was like, dang, I gotta go get a real job. So I decided to use the engineering degree.
That's crazy. You're probably... I've had friends also that came close to like being pro, but not as... Like your story's kind of different. Like what would you say... It's like, is there... I would guess there's like a pretty big luck factor in the fact that you're gonna go to the league. It's like a lot of things need to align perfectly for you to be there. I know it's the case in the NBA. It's like there is so many great players that just never get to have a career. Like what would you say? Like would you say there is a pretty big luck factor, and also like that kind of, okay, I know this guy, so that guy got drafted when you didn't?
Man, honestly, it's a really good question, and I'm so reluctant to say like, somebody beat me because they were lucky. But there is some
Of course
other,
not, but
yeah,
like
but there's
deep down inside of you, you know you're better than some people who are in the league right now. That's the thing, though.
yeah, that's what's tough is like there
Yeah,
are factors that go into it. The difference between somebody making a team and somebody, um, you know, or being a starter and not making a team in
yeah.
the NFL, at least in football, is a lot less than people think. Sometimes it's just one guy understood the playbook better than the other. Sometimes it's you just fit their scheme better, so it's a better fit for the program. Like could have nothing to do with skill, could just be um, better route running. You could be a better athlete, but not necessarily have the metrics that they're looking for. Bro, all sorts of details, X, Y, and Z. You could go on and on. Football is a very like calculated and strategy type sport, which I presume it's similar with soccer, right? Like with your soccer background.
It is, but I would say like soccer is a little bit different than football, in terms of like I think football, if you are extremely athletic, um, you already have like such a big advantage depending on the position that you're playing for sure. But like let's say you're gifted, you're 6'5" and you run a 4'3", the chances of you being in the league is like 100%. You know, when in soccer, I would say it's like it's such a different sport. But I would say like there is a luck factor, in my opinion, in being pro, in a sense where some people get the shot that they wanted at the right time and they were prepared. And it's also about like being able, I think, to like handle the pressure. Some people are so good, but when the pressure comes in, it just kills their skills basically. And yeah, that's pretty much what I can say from my part. But
That makes sense. That makes sense. I did want to address something. I think Satoshi mentioned it. No such thing as luck. So this is interesting, Martha. I'm curious to hear your opinion on this. I have a
I
strong
don't
opinion.
agree with them. I don't agree with them.
Okay, yeah, I don't either. I think that you put yourself in the position to be able to receive luck. Like, for example, in the psychology, have you read The Psychology of Money? I think we talked about it last time I was on the stream.
Yeah, I read that.
Okay, yeah. So in that book, he was talking about Bill Gates and how, um, or a bunch of other any profession or really high level business folks. Oftentimes, what they do is they try this business and try that business and try this business and this business, and then eventually something hits. So it's like they put themselves in the position in order to receive that quote unquote luck,
Mhm.
instead of just kind of sitting back, crossing their fingers, and hoping that something good happens. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So that's kind of my position on it. I'm curious to hear yours.
I think like that's a tough one because I think, of course, like if you have talent and if you're very good at something, at one point people will see it and there will be an opportunity that you can take and make the best out of it. But
Mm.
sometimes I think um luck is a big factor. I still think there is a lot of people who are ready for that kind of opportunity but never get it because either something happens. Let's say in sports, I've met some guys that we're for sure gonna make it to, you know, at least like the Canadian League, but got injured, you know. So like you still needed to be lucky in that way where, okay, your body is, you know, gifted. You have great genetics. You run fast. You control the ball well. You have all those athletic, um, let's say, gifts, but you never came across a scenario where, I don't know, you torn your ACL, or you, I don't know, your leg broke and, you know, it was over for your career. I still think there is an aspect of, okay, that person also gave you an opportunity where, you know, especially as a, let's say a coach gives you an opportunity, and at that time you were able to, you know, lock in and get it done. But I still think luck is a pretty big part in terms of, especially in sports, in terms of not being hurt, and also like not putting too much pressure in your mind to make it, even if you have the skills. That's for me, and I still think that way, and I will always think that way for sure, because I've seen it. I'm talking with like what I saw from experience.
Yeah, bro, 100%. I mean, I got a nice piece of titanium in my collarbone, in reference to that for the rest of my life. And it's, you could sit here and say, hey, it's bad luck, or as somebody in the chat, I can't remember who said it, but this is a bar. Somebody in the chat said, if you want to win the lottery, you got to buy a ticket, which I think is a bar. It's like,
That's a bar for sure.
it's very similar. It's very similar to trading, in my opinion, which is you can control what you can control, right? Like there are things that are in your control and in your grasp that you can control, your execution, your discipline, that sort of thing. But then there are things that are out of control, like price action that wicks you out, or, you know, a tweet that comes out or something, you know, name whatever you want. And I think that's kind of the beauty of trading, is something that we got to work through. Is like control what you can control and recognize that things are going to happen.
For sure. Satoshi said, only youngins think. When we grow up, we begin to listen to those old heads and wise counselors around us. All right, that has to be like the most, I'm old, so you got to listen to me type of shit I've ever heard. But, you know, that the one thing with me, you know, I get it. I still, you know, a part of what you said is for sure, like it's right, you know. But sports is a different thing than normal life. You know, if you have a gift and you are a very good communicator, okay, and you are great at what you're doing, okay, but one thing that I'm saying is that you still need someone to give you the shot for you to reach your full potential, and have, like, be in front of some situations that are going to make you grow, or like going to give you so much adversity that you are going to turn up and actually become that person who's like great at doing something. You know what I mean? So like that little shot here is still like an aspect of time needs to be met. You know, like you got to have the right shot at the right time, because maybe you're going to give up on your dream, you know. That's pretty much where I am. You know what I mean by that? It's like,
I think so. It's like,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You can go.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, the thing. So the thing with that, like when I got my first, so go Eagles, shout out Eagles, Eastern Washington University, the best logo in all of college football, by the way, in my opinion. But when I was in high school and you're trying to get recruited and whatnot, and try to go to a program, oftentimes you need you need to be in a good setup. Yes, they'll find the good athletes, but sometimes you go to a school where they don't throw the ball very much. They run the ball, or X, Y, and Z. And so you have to go out and actually like make your luck, quote unquote. So my first offer at Eastern Washington, I went to their camp, you know, tried to reach out to coaches and got invited to the camp, and then performed well at the camp. And that was how I got the scholarship. So There is. I hear what you're saying, but I think like what's important is you got to be ready to receive that luck. Like you got to be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with you.
yeah. I heard you talking about doing some boxing before this stream.
Yeah.
Are
Right.
you
I hurt my left shoulder actually.
oh dang, are you like sparring with people?
No, not currently. I'm just getting back in shape and then gonna go to like do some more sparring and touch sessions.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. I used to do that before. It's like I've been on and off with boxing a lot. And I would say that sport has to be the hardest sport ever. In my opinion, um, it's one of those sports with a non-ending learning curve, and it's
Mm,
like it touches a part of me where I know it like it spikes the fire in me. Why? Because you never like follow a game plan because the person in front of you has control over the shots he's making or like he's taking. So you got to adapt to every single shot he's throwing at you, you know? So it's more of a problem solving game rather than like, okay, I have this gift and I'm going to beat him with that. Um, so like it is an amazing sport. I really want to get good at it, but it's hard. It's definitely hard, especially at the beginning. Oh my God. Just to have the right form and like move the right way. And it's not because you know how to throw punches. That's really the point where I am. I am great at throwing punches. Okay.
mm,
My offense is on point. But when someone is throwing punches at me, this is where it becomes hard, you know? Plus the stamina, like the defense is really the biggest part, which
mm.
you wouldn't think of. But like in that sport, defense is everything. Everything.
Man, yeah, I hear that for sure. And I've done some boxing classes. I used to do it when I lived in California. I just like the Mayweather. I don't know if you guys have that up there, but like Mayweather boxing classes where it's basically just hit workouts, stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, so tiring. Hitting a heavy bag and like moving your feet at the same time or like hitting the pads, man. It's like 2 minutes of that and you're cooked. I hear you, bro. I like what you said though. Oh shoot, did we lose a mouse? Oh, well, you guys are just stuck with me then. Shoot. Yep. So chat, we're over here talking about all these sports and whatnot. Semj Sinol, looks like you're getting teased. Looks like your take profits almost hit. Analysis chop right now, stuck in a range. Yeah, yeah. Oh, we had him here for a second. Must be having Wi-Fi issues all the time. I've been seeing on the streams.
Always the same. It's always the same kind of lag too. Like it
Must,
lags once and then lags again for another like extra 15 seconds. I don't know. I don't know what to do.
is
You
that
can share my
Canadian?
screen then. Yeah,
That
Canadian Wi-Fi. Farmer's Wi-Fi right there. GG's.
Man. Yeah, chat. How's the trading looking? Catching some dubs in this Globex, this Asian sesh. Let's see where we at. What time is it? Oh. So we have what 23 minutes until Tokyo opens. Oh shoot.
Nev said 76 fights as an amateur and 2 times national British champion. There's no way. Wait, that's you, Nevs? Holy
Has hands over here. Okay. Okay.
damn.
Man. Miriam said that she decided to trade Asia. Okay. Wait. Oh, 28 minutes. I thought that said minis. I was like, golly. Man.
So I would say like with how the hourly bar flipped and regained control of the open, I was like, okay, we are gonna push from 52 immediately back up towards 66. I knew that if we were gonna go down immediately and we did not push from the 720 bar, we would start chopping. And this is exactly what we're doing. And on that hourly bar, you can see we are currently in an inside bar scenario, which is probably the worst scenario you can be in. A candle that did not trade below the previous candle's low or above the previous candle's high. So in this case, for me, it's a waiting game. What is going to happen within the next 20 minutes? Are we going to break below 918 so I can potentially scalp 878, or are we going to break above the previous daily high and then expect price to expand even more during the 8 to 9 p.m. 1 hour candle? So I'm waiting. I think anything can happen within the next 20 minutes. So I'm just going to react and not predict. Are you still in the trade?
Believe it or not, we are. We are
Nice.
still in this thing.
Good.
So we got in at, where was this? 28939. So we're just barely in profit right now, or basically break even. So it was getting close there, bro. But yeah, we're still sitting in this thing, still targeting that orb low at 918. So let's see. Oh shoot, I wish. Miriam, you are the market maker. Yeah, market maker Miriam for sure. It's in the intro. Are you going to be eyeing anything in particular as we go into this Tokyo session open?
Yeah. So for me, usually like I want to frame where the next candle would close with the current structure that we have plus the daily chart. So currently, like on this daily chart, we have a daily candle that closed bullish and very strong above the previous daily high. When I see this, for me, the new value is going to be above that previous daily high. We don't need to come back towards that area, or I would not frame any shorts, because for me, the fair price is currently here. And one thing I would never do when a candle closes that strong is to short before seeing that previous daily high being swept, especially during the Tokyo Open. So here, my bias on the daily chart is bullish because of the strongness of the close and the fact that we closed above the previous daily high. Okay, usually that daily high gets taken out during the first 3 hours of the Asia session. Then there's no way I freaking lagged. Okay, if I lagged again on that one, I would have crashed out. But okay, so then I have another way of framing my trade. It is looking at the hourly chart exactly like if it was a 1 minute chart. Okay, and I am trying to see where is my next candle most likely gonna expand. Is it gonna be a bullish candle that will close bullish, or is it gonna be a bearish candle? And with the structure that I have, the size of the wicks, the size of the body, is it closing above or below the opening price? I have a pretty good understanding with the structure that we formed if the next candle is going to distribute to the upside or to the downside. So let's say here, a candle that looks like this for me, okay, that one has a lot of chances of distributing to the upside and creating a bullish candle off of it. Okay, I'll give you an example. Then here again, I would see the next candle closing bullish to the upside. You see here we had a pretty big move, but then the sellers took over and made that candle close bearish. So at that point, I would predict that the next candle would close bearish. So I would have been right on half of the move, but not on the closure. But here you can see new bar opens, closes bearish, and taps into the gap. Then right here, I wouldn't do anything. And when I see that strong candle closure that is bullish, I would basically predict that the next candle has more chances of closing bullish than bearish. Okay, so then using that overall framework, I am going to look at how this candle will close in order to frame the move from the 8 p.m. open. Are we going to be strong and bullish so I can frame that the 8 to 9 a.m. 1 hour candle is going to close bullish, and or are we going to close bearish and start digging below the daily open, and we need to find more buyers within the gap below us. Okay, so if we have a very strong aggressive bearish candle closing, then I would be tempted to short back down towards 63. If we do have a very strong candle closing to the upside, then I would aim for a higher price. That's usually how I frame most of my trades, and also understanding how a candle usually fluctuates. So open high low close or open low high close, and using that timing in my advantage. So that's what I'm waiting for. You see, like, we're stuck inside this range where we're not even breaking out above the high or the low. So it's pretty much impossible for me to frame a trade at this point.
And in your example that you just showed, if there was a strong bullish candle and you shorted it, your take profit would be at the start of the gap or inside the gap.
So let's say this candle right here would close here. Okay, let's say it closes at like 909. Okay, I would try to frame a scalp within the 920s ish, all the way back down towards the gap. And my stop loss, I would try to have it covering most of that hourly candles range. So let's say like at 950, like pretty much using the hourly chart as a guideline to be like, okay, next candle, like the structure that was formed is this one. Okay, there's Tokyo open. If we get a drive below that low, we should expand to the downside. That's usually how I framed all my trades within this Asia session. Right now it looks like it's consolidating a lot. I don't know if we're gonna get it.
Yeah, it's been kind of messy. I want to see. Let's see what sort of news, if any, over Asia session. I don't see any. I don't use news a ton. I do like to keep an eye on it just because I'm curious, and if there's a big move, you know, I have another reason to point at it. It looks like Jolt's job openings are tomorrow in the New York session, but don't see any Asia news. Dang, holy pump.
That's a good candle right there.
Oh, I think that's...
Damn.
Almost took me out. Oh, still might. Is this going to be the first experimental trade? Is it going to be an L?
I hope not.
Hope not. Oh, yeah. So maybe... Should we talk about what strategies we want on the quote-unquote syllabus? What strategies we want to evaluate? So we're doing the 15-minute orb now.
Yeah, let's do the 15-minute orb from 8 to 8:15.
Oh, the Tokyo sesh.
Yeah, Tokyo. Let's do Tokyo. It's gonna be better.
Okay, and then okay, cool. Sharing my screen. Let me bring this over here.
I think that would be the one.
Let me share. Let me share this so we can edit it.
Order filled.
Oh, it just got stopped out. First trade L on the 15-minute orb strat. So, okay, so we'll trade this for 100 trades, 15-minute orb. And then what should we do? What should we do next? Should we do VWAP, bounce or rejection, or should we do something else? A lot of these are support and resistance, so I kind of just made a random list. I even added like a vibes strat here at the bottom.
I think I would need to think about it really, or like,
yeah,
or maybe like the initial balance from like 7 to 8 p.m. Is that what most people trade?
Initial balance, I like that. Did I have that in here? Let's add that to the list real quick. Oh, shoot. I'll add initial balance. So from the open of Globex, 1 hour?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Globex opens at 7, and that's pretty much it.
Yep.
Okay.
Show balance. Globex. Okay. Like it. We have golden pocket, and yeah, like I said, we can kind of play around with this or hear what chat has to say. But so yeah, there's kind of a gist for what we have now.
Yeah, someone said initial balance from 7 to 8 is fire. Yeah, we can do that for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe
I'm down.
vibes
The
chat.
vibe strat. The vibe strat.
Man, you never know, bro. And then again, here's the rubric for those that missed it. So, in terms of each of the strategies, we'll grade it based off mechanical clarity. So, how unambiguous is it? Does it have very clear rules where I enter or don't enter it? What's the win rate? On the orb strat, start off with an L. So right now, out of 100, we have 1 L. Profitability, how much should we make? And then consistency for a composite grade of 0 between 1 and 5. So yeah, that's where we at. Where we at? Oh shoot, let me this off real quick. Okay.
Dev said, unless if you need any pointers for your boxing defense, hit me up. I don't think it's. I think like the only thing that you can learn from is like your own experience, no? How can you learn defense? It's exactly like trading, no? Like a lot of the work that you need to do is self-teaching. No matter how much you read about it or like how much theory you get, it's really about how can you self-teach yourself.
Yeah, 100%. Sorry, I was just laughing because I was catching up with this stream, and everybody reacting to the order filled noise.
Oh yeah, I saw.
Damn, that scared me. Made me jump. LOL. Rip T-Dog. Oh man.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna look for a potential trade very soon. For me, that daily high is gonna be the target.
Okay.
Definitely gonna be the target right there.
You were asking me about all the football stuff. I meant to ask you, and please interrupt me if you're about to get in this trade, but how far did you end up taking it, bro? Did you have a shot, or what was
No, actually, like the thing with me, I never truly tried at all. Like at any sports, I tried at soccer at a certain point, but I would say like I even like stopped fully at like 16. I truly don't think I would have been I would have went far because of how much opportunities we get here in Canada. Like you're gonna play against kids that are 16, but were practicing in an academy since they were 9 years old. They are years ahead of you. Like there is you have no chance against them. And I would say like I love sports, but at a certain point I kind of lost. Like when you start playing against people that are real grinders, you're like, okay, I have talent, but I never truly took it serious to the point where I'm gonna do anything with it. You know, I went to France to do a tournament there. Also understood that damn, the level there is not even close to here. I went to Lyon, and we faced teams that were like national teams. I understood right there at 15, I was never gonna make it. It was too late.
It was the wake-up call.
Nah, it was too late.
They sent you home. They sent you home sick, huh?
Yeah, it was still a very good experience overall. Like I still enjoy the sport, but making it in sport, you definitely have to be another breed. You know, no matter how athletic you are, yeah, I have so much respect for those professional sports players.
Man, yeah, 100%. I mean, uh, I envy soccer in the sense that you can start so early. Like they have the academy programs that can develop these people so young. That sort of thing doesn't exist for American football. Full Port Short said, "T, do you miss football, especially with everyone reporting to camp?" It is so tough to watch, like Hard Knocks and stuff like that. All of the camp stuff. Even still, I'm like, what, maybe 4 years removed? No, more than that. Like 6 or 7 years removed from playing football, bro, and it still hurts. I can't watch college football still, just because it's just it was cut short or shorter than I expected my football career. So still hurts. But trading is filling the void. To be honest, you have a better chance of making it in trading a Moss. That's from recession proof.
We already talked about this also, um, like in those sports, you gotta be like to truly make a living out of it. You gotta be one of the best in the world.
Mm-hmm.
When in trading, you don't have to be one of the best in the world at all. At all. You can be decent, take your piece of the pie, and walk away. You know, especially with those firms. You know, it's two levels, of course. Of course, when you want to make multi-millions, let's say you want to make 10 millions in a year trading, it's very different than having a $200,000 goal, of course. Once you start, I think the bigger your goals with trading, the more it becomes exactly like professional sports.
In terms of the income.
Yeah, if you really want to have like to be paid exactly like a professional soccer player, then as a trader, then you need to be, you know, one of the best in the world.
Do you think there's a stage that you can get to in your trading where the income is just so consistent, like you're regularly cashing out large sums of money that you're talking about, and there's not a ton of ambiguity in that revenue? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think yes, 100%. But you really need to know yourself, um, and that will take a lot of time because I think the scaling part is the hard part. So once you know exactly the right metrics, the metrics that you want to play with, how much money that you're risking per trades, exactly the type of trades that you're going to take, um, then I think there will be a time where the market will meet with your strategy for a year, 2 years, 3 years. And of course, there will be fluctuations there, but I think there is a way to be very consistent with trading if you have an approach where you are very, I would say, the risk management part is not the thing that is holding you back. You know?
Yeah, that makes sense. I totally agree.
I think like once you start getting with heavier size and you start risking things that you're not necessarily risking things that you're not able to, you know, to accept as a loss, but I would say like when you try to scale and instead of seeing a loss of $1,000 to $3,000, you start seeing a loss of $5,000 to $10,000. You know, at that point, it's not really about skill. It's about you now have the fear of losing that money. You're not even acting off of your trading skills in the first place. You're really acting off of emotions. And I think at that point is the part where it really gets it's hard because that not everyone will be able to achieve that level of okay being a seven-figure trader or multiple seven-figure trader, because you need to be wired in a certain way where you can really first eat those losses, and second, your financial situation needs to be very, very good for you to be able to accept those kind of losses, you know, outside of the chart. So you already need to have your shit together um, before you can even think of making those kind of numbers. That's for sure. And that's, I think, one thing that a lot of people get wrong is like thinking that Okay, I can, let's say you made 40K last year, then you immediately go for a 500K target. You gotta, you know, you gotta chill. I think the scaling part is the hard part for sure.
Yeah, that is interesting for me. I think another thing to add to it is being able to, like, the market is ever evolving. You know, the market today is different than the market yesterday, is different than the market the day before that. So for me, at least in my process, I need to have some sort of structure in place where I can monitor those changes and adapt accordingly. Which is why I track all of those orb stats that I showed earlier, so that way I can recognize, okay, is the first orb or second orb break working? Is it not? I have these clear metrics that show me yes or no it is, then I can make my adjustments from there. So that's how I see this being a success long term for me, is just being able to track my metrics and adjust accordingly, micro adjustments. No major like strategy change or abandonment, just micro adjustments to stay on path.
I'm gonna put a limit order at 57 right here. Hopefully I do get picked up. I don't think I'm gonna get picked up here.
Oh, close. Question about the WNBA, that was funny. Osgoon Energy asked about the WNBA.
Oh my days.
Go without you. Man.
Okay, I got failed here on one. Not bad. Okay. Oh my days.
You got another right there?
Yeah, I'm in 3 here. Wow.
Holy.
Oh my days. That was the quickest stop out ever.
What in the world? What time is it right now? Opened.
Wow. No way it's gonna wick. Damn. That was a crazy open low right there. God, yeah, it was a little bit too deep to my liking. I would have wanted to see the initial bounce where I entered at 61. Damn.
Man, good thing you have the order filled noise on.
Yeah, I took the loss on that one, guys. Damn, it was fast. That trade moved. I still think there is a pretty big likelihood of us bouncing here and reaching new highs. But that was a crazy open low. We're seeing more and more crazy opens like those. Damn. That was tough.
Dang. Well, can't win them all, man. You're still what, 75%?
Yeah, 18.6 with that one today.
Okay, yeah,
it's actually gonna rip right now. Damn.
You gonna get back in, or are you done?
Nah, I have to be done right there. I really wanted to put my stop loss wider than this, actually. I really digged very deep, though. I still see the long opportunity right there, being a good long.
So what's your metric for, like, if you see, in that instance, you got stopped out pretty quick, of course, right? But if you see it playing out, if you see your strategy looking like it hasn't been invalidated, will you ever re-enter, or
no? I would say, like, even if my framework has like a big likelihood of hitting or like flipping back in my direction, I will not try to re-enter, because mostly psychological aspect of it, of like, okay, what if I lose again? And I actually don't have the data of the re-entry. That's pretty much it. Also, when I gathered all my data, when I would take the stop out, I would just stop trading, basically.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
G-Star question: if trading requires an edge, what would your last 1,000 trades reveal? If they show a consistent edge, is trading mainly execution? If not, does the real edge become psychology? Moss, you have any thoughts on that?
Can you repeat? Sorry, I was looking at something.
Oh yeah, no problem. So G-Star6 in the chat said, question: if trading requires an edge, what would your last 1,000 trades reveal? If they show a consistent edge, is trading mainly execution? If not, does the real edge become psychology?
If they show a consistent edge, is trading mainly execution? If not, does it... Damn, that's a good question.
Trading mainly execution. If not, does real edge become psychology?
I think the psychology part is not an edge in and of itself, because how I view it is your strategy objectively making you money in this market? Objectively, like if you are going to put your entry, stop loss, take profit exactly at the same areas every time, what is going to happen? If the answer is if you first, have you done that work to know what was going to be the results if you were taking that trade exactly like if you were a robot? Then that's really the questions that we would ask, or Miriam would ask me during the podcast. And that's my take overall on discretion and having intuition within your strategy. But I think someone's strategy could be coded. I think if you truly have an edge in this market, you could code your strategy and let a robot play for you. I think that genuinely. But in that way, psychology, with the way that I think, is basically is not your edge, but will be something that will kill your edge if you don't have if you're not acting the right way towards your strategy. So is the edge the strategy? In my opinion, yes. Is the edge the psychology? No. But I still think the psychology is very important because it will kill your edge, but it doesn't make the edge. That's how I think.
Okay.
The robot doesn't have the intuition to stay out when probably is not in your favor. Let me tell you one thing: with how advanced those AIs are, and I can tell you can code intuition into a bot. That's for sure. The only thing is, like, someone can tell me, oh, like, why don't you trade with a bot? Okay, do you know how much money it costs to to actually build a bot that has exactly the right metrics and adapts in the way that I do? It would cost me so much money to do that. So like, it's better. And for sure, I also love my job of stepping in front of the chart every single day.
Robot, as a professional robot, I agree with the Moss.
His name is Robot.
Man, but to be honest, my opinion on that is, I think that the more confident you are in your strategy, depending on what your strategy is, of course, the more confident you are in your strategy, the less psychology plays a role, in my opinion. If you're confident in your structure and you have guidelines and you stay disciplined to those guidelines, and it's back tested and you have the evidence to show that it works, then I think the stress is released off of your shoulders. This PA is insane, yeah, 100%. But that's kind of
wildest open I've seen. But I agree with you, Terrence. I think a lot of the psychological problems are due to being underprepared. That's always what I say. It's like, you think that, oh, you have an issue with discipline and an issue with over trading and not respecting your rules, but the question is, how confident are you in your ability to pull in money tomorrow? Or how confident are you in your ability to keep trading the same system to eventually get out of that drawdown? Most people cannot. Most people don't necessarily have that type of confidence in the first place. So then they act on that urge of like making the money back, you know. But I think if you take your, that's really a question of time, really. Like, can you be patient for you to acquire that, all of that? Isn't all that psychology? You have good psychology once you have confidence, and confidence is built through hard proof behind why you should have that confidence and not ego, you know. Let's say we talk about like a confident boxer. A confident boxer is someone who trains every day and doesn't like adds up those small little wins, always does the right thing, you know. When a boxer that is not confident knows that, okay, he did not train the way that he should have, he did not respect his plan, he ate junk food a lot of the times, you know. That's in my opinion a big portion of it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I used to have a football coach that said that. He was like, I don't get nervous for games because I know I've put in all the preparation for the game. I know I've done all the work, I've watched all the film, you know, I've put myself in the best position possible, so there's no need for me to be nervous type thing.
Yeah, I totally agree with this, especially in trading. You don't have any like you don't have any words over the outcome, you know. No matter how much you prepare, today's win or today's loss is gonna happen, you know, and there's nothing you can do about it. So gold, what's happening with gold? Oh my god, it is ripping.
Yeah, let's
holy
see.
shit,
15 points from the open, like 1,500 buckaroonies.
That action currently is pretty pretty untradeable.
Yeah, it's been a messy session.
Yeah,
Chop
really
Asia.
wanted to see that.
Chop Asia, New York, a clean New York AM. We are so back.
Yeah, exactly. That's really where that's a true statement right there. Once Asia starts chopping, you know you're gonna have some decent moves in New York session.
I'm cool with that. But Moss, are we running this giveaway? What do you think, man?
Yeah, for sure. Oh shit, I was not being greedy enough today. Wait, you have 411 likes. Okay, no, 430. Okay, good. So let's do 530 for the next like goal. At 530, I'm gonna be giving away 250k select accounts. Okay, so I currently owe you one. Then at 530, I'm gonna owe you another one. And then we'll see where we can get from there.
Let's go. I love it. I love it. Strategy. Thank you. Question is excuse to act feelings. Huh? Interesting. Man, Amos, I gotta say, I heard you and Lumi earlier today talking about music. Are you a fan of this? Are you all in on Russian music now, man, or what? She make you a believer?
All right, GG's. The chat's gonna go crazy now. I mean, for the music part, I usually don't really take into account the lyrics. Really, it's more about the vibes, the overall vibes that the music gives me, the melody and stuff. So I would say the music that she made me listen to, I had like the lyrics were not that bad, but the overall beat was kind of good. So maybe I'll look at some more Russian music for sure in the future.
Really?
No.
Okay.
Maybe. Do you listen to like
Dang,
French songs and stuff, or no?
So I used to, when I was really trying to learn French, I used to listen to French songs, but it was random and like
Yeah, I
the super.
remember I hopped on the first call with you, and you were like you were chopping it up with me in French, actually.
Trying to, bro.
Wait,
Yeah, actually.
let me like let's do some French right there. Let's get
Okay.
into a French class. All right, let me know what you know.
Okay. I'm a little rusty, so let's see how this goes.
It's all good. I got you.
Oh, you want me to talk, or are you gonna say?
Yeah, like you either like we either have a conversation or you just you just
Right.
spit right there.
Spit. TG on the. No, I'm just kidding. Dang. Let's see. I forget this one. Comment dit en français to learn? I'm learning.
Apprendre,
Apprendre.
apprends.
So, ouais, ouais. Je suis apprendre français.
Je suis en train
En- Je suis
en train d'apprendre.
je suis en train
En
d'apprendre.
train d'apprendre le français.
Qu'est-ce que c'est d'apprendre? Qu'est-ce que c'est?
En train d'apprendre means en train means I'm starting to.
Starting. Okay.
Basically,
Okay.
like in or like in the process of. That's what it means. In the process of.
Répétez s'il vous plaît. En train.
Je suis en train
Je suis en train
d'apprendre
d'apprendre en
le
français.
français.
De français.
Le français.
Oh, le français. Oui.
Exactly.
See, I'm rusty, and it's the back half of the day, bro. I'm gonna get on Duolingo tonight and tomorrow, grinding, and then next session. Dang, we just dumped all the way to VWAP low or orb low. That would have been nice. Probably like
Yeah, that's
20
a
minutes ago.
pretty aggressive dump. Damn, it just moved above the hourly high and immediately dumped. We've seen those kind of moves within the last 3 sessions, I would say, in the Asia. So gotta be careful during the next 8 p.m. open. Damn, that's a crazy move right there.
That's what I was looking for earlier, but missed it.
Yeah, I think the orb from 8 to 8:15 is gonna be better to trade.
I think so. I mean, this would have been money. This would have been it.
Easy, like 1 minute.
We got a little French in the chat. Je bois une bière. Ouais.
Je bois une bière. Yeah.
Une bière. Bière is feminine? I would have thought that was masculine.
No. What do you mean? What's the question?
Yeah. So it's une bière or un bière?
Une bière.
Une bière. Ouais.
You know what that means?
Ouais. Ouais. Yeah, I drink beer. I drink a beer. Okay.
Yeah.
Moi, je suis en train. Oh, he just typed it out. Okay. Also started learning French. Nice. I would like to buy a hamburger. If you know, you know. Chat. I see you, Kevin. No. That movie's probably before your time, Amos. Pink Panther.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Oh my gosh, chat. That's a good one. That's a
Yeah, French though is a very hard language to speak, or like to learn. If you spoke English before, I would say English is far easier to learn. Like French,
Really?
yeah, knowing like if it's une, like knowing if it's like there is so many little things that are different than English for sure. I would say even Spanish is easier than French. Just writing in French without making any mistakes is hell.
It was the conjugation,
Hell.
bro. That was so hard for me. It was like learning, like knowing when to conjugate, and some rules don't follow the rules. Like it's messy. I'm trying to learn Arabic at the same time right now from my in-laws. From
Oh yeah. Damn. I don't even know a word in Arabic.
Arabic's dope, but it's it's difficult. For some of the pronunciation is hard, but the rules are easier, I would say. Like, dang, look at this dump. We're still going.
Yeah, we're probably gonna head back towards that 4-hour gap, potentially, seeing how aggressive we are below that open. If that 30-minute bar closes below 900, in my opinion, we go back down. The next 30 is most likely gonna flush and not close back within the range.
Okay, 30-minute, so 12 minutes from now, closing below 30, you said?
If that next 30, basically I look at what kind of structure do we form on the higher time frame so I can frame the next bar closing. So let's say, like, in terms of structure, if we create that break of structure to the downside, okay, basically I would follow the opening price of that next candle to tell me the story. So let's say this candle closes bearish. Okay, let's say it closes bearish below 901. You see here? Okay. Then the new candle will open up. Usually we'll drive down below that low and it will hang out here. At that moment, I will have to take a decision whether I'm going to enter shorts here and predict that we're going to break below, or I'm going to wait for us to dig right back above the opening price. Okay. And at that moment, I am waiting for something called the flip. So I'm waiting for that new 30-minute bar to put in its up wick and then flip right back below its opening price. And then I know here that high is protected and I can now sell with the sellers back down towards that gap. Basically just understanding open, high, low, close, and timing of them. So if I get that closure, I'll have structure confirming that, confirming my thesis, basically, of looking for shorts back into a gap, which that gap in a certain way is an area with low volume and price displaced so aggressively within the last 12 hours that sellers did not get a fair exchange. So here it becomes like a magnet for price to pull back into. And then I look at my lower time frames and try to look for a move back towards that gap using the power of 3, basically accumulation, manipulation, distribution.
So help me understand here briefly, because I know that you go between different time frames and you also have the 15-minute and the 5-minute or 1 minute on this single chart. So at what points are you navigating between those different time frames?
That's a good question. So like I'll give you an example. Like let's say for me, that structure, okay, it did not happen, but that's usually how I frame my trades. When I see this bar closing above the daily high, one thing that is going to happen, in my opinion, is that we're going to see an expansion from it. When we break, I never try to sell. Okay, it's if we wick and close bearish that I try to sell back within the range. So let's say here, once we break, then I would anticipate that the next candle would close bullish. But I'm not married to that bias. I'm like, I know in the back of my mind that I need to look at the open of the new bar to give me the story. So let's say here the new bar will open and then we'll drop down, okay? And we will have done that kind of scenario. So we would have pushed up above that high, then went down, and that candle will look like a bearish candle. And at that moment, this is the moment where I would look for fluctuations back within the range of, okay, I want us to put in the down wick of a candle that will potentially close bullish. So at that moment, this is where I want to see buyers stepping in and then fluctuating back above the opening price of that new bar. And once I have this, then I'll try to buy and see the open, low, high, close. And that's like the timing, because that comes in first, second, third, fourth. It's like in cycles. So it's accumulation, manipulation, distribution, pull back for the close.
All based off the
upwick of that bar. So like if I'm predicting that the next candle will be bullish because of the higher time frame context, then there's really only two ways the market can either distribute on a bullish bar. Maybe 3, okay, but let's disregard the third. But the 2 ways a candle can distribute to the upside is an open, low, high, close. That's number 1. But a candle, that would be looking at the 1-minute chart, okay? But a candle can also close bullish having a completely different distribution, meaning that it opened here, went higher, then went lower after to form that down wick, and then pushed up very aggressively to close here. You see, those are two completely different type of candles. Okay, this one was more like distributing perfectly, okay, with a clear power of 3, and this one is all over the place. You don't even know where the accumulation was. Like, you know where the accumulation was, but you're still it's very hard to spot the distribution. And in that way, if you look at your data and try to see how many candles actually distribute in that way, or how many candles distribute in that way, then you'll find that, okay, this one is more common, you know, seeing a cleaner distribution. And then let's say for me, you know, I went a very big path to just tell you what are the time frame alignments that I'm going to use. But let's say if I am trying to predict the closure of an hourly bar, then this is the type of structure that I'm going to be looking for on the 5-minute chart for me to enter a trade. So let's say, like, I could enter a trade here. When we open, we go lower, we flip, and then I would anticipate that this low is the new low of the low of the new hourly bar, and then try to have my stop loss below that internal low and trade until the close of that bar, basically.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, so you're
like hourly. If I'm trying to predict an hourly bar, I'd look at a 5-minute chart for that kind of distribution. If I'm looking at a 15-minute candle, then I would look at a 1-minute entry for my execution.
Oh, gotcha. So 5 minute, so 15-minute, 1 minute, 5 minute, 1 hour. And
yeah, and then 4 hour, 15-minute, daily 1 hour, weekly 4 hour, monthly daily.
Oh, interesting. You go all the way up to
5 minute, 15 seconds, 30-minute, 3 minutes, 3 and 2. Like, I have the exact same time frame alignment for the way that I would frame a candle. That truly makes sense because of the way that basically that's the way that I frame my trades. But for me, let's say if I'm trying to predict a 15-minute bar, then what am I going to do with let's say I'm trying to predict because I can do it with a 4-hour candle. But let's say I'm trying to predict the next 4-hour candle. What am I going to do on the 1-minute chart? It's pure noise. Pure noise. For me, if I'm trading off of a 1-minute chart for the entry, seeing who's in control, okay, buyers or sellers, then I need to get out of that trade in 15 minutes.
So are you using that full range of scales?
Okay, can you repeat?
Oh yeah, sorry. So are you using that full range, like you had mentioned monthly and it's
close? Oh yeah. Okay, good question. I mean, no, because of the fact that my data shows me that the best 2 time frames to look for my trades are 15 and hourly. So this is why I have them here. Those 2 candles that are here are the 15 and the hourly.
Okay.
So, let's say, like, off of a break like this, okay, you see how we broke structure on the 15. What I would see from that kind of move, especially disrespecting, I would say closing back within the range of that buy side liquidity, that daily high, I would frame that the next candle has more chances of closing bearish than bullish. That's how it operates. So then if that new bar opens up and we're here, let's say we're here at 19. If we head back up, okay, above the opening price of that new candle, I'm treating that up move as a fake out and as a way just to fill orders here. I'm not going to get in here. That's just a prediction. But if we get back down and we reflip, then I can anticipate that we form the upwick of a future bearish bar. And then we're going to dump. That's pure price action. Pure, like, I'm not using anything else than those candles. In my opinion, they give a great story. And if you dig deep enough, then you can find easily 20 to 30 handles to scalp every day.
See, but there's a couple of things that I really like about your strategy in terms of like being able to trade it throughout any point of the day, any session, and that sort of thing. But also, I wonder, in order to see these things, there's not like, at least that I'm aware of, an indicator that you can set, right? Like, are you just sitting in front of the charts? Do you have this time period where you're sitting in front of the charts watching this? Or
I don't need any indicators really, because of
I
like
guess I meant
in order to spot those.
I guess I meant an alert. Like if you're away from your computer,
Yeah.
there's no
I
alert.
mean,
Hmm.
you could, but that would be like, those alerts would make more sense if you're like trading off of the higher time frames. Let's say like if you want to catch like a swing trade off of the monthly, then
Mm.
or like the weekly chart, you're not necessarily like monitoring that weekly chart every time, every minute. But I'll give you an example on the higher time frame. I think, let's say like if I go on the monthly, okay, like when I saw this candle closing on the monthly chart, there was a gap below us, and you see the way that we closed bearish. And from the previous close on during May, I was anticipating that the next bar was going to be bullish, but it didn't happen. We swept that high, we closed back within the range bearish, and at that point we had a gap below us. I'm using the same exact framework. Where is my next candle going to close? If I was looking at a 1-minute chart, would I buy or would I sell the next candle? And here, this is not, with the size of that down wick, it's not really easy to say what I would do. So at that point, that's really where I would look for, okay, what is my move at the open? Are we dropping down very aggressively and accepting below 50% of that wick? So then, okay, perfect. Now I can have a very good scalp back to the downside towards that gap and predict that the next candle is going to close bearish. Or is it going to start pushing very aggressively to the upside? And then I would anticipate that this slows the low of the new monthly bar and then trade that bullish distribution. See? So like here, with, I would say, looking at the monthly chart and then looking at the daily structure, I could have been able to catch something on the higher time frame with that fluctuation, I would say, to then see, okay, was it going to close bearish or bullish because of my levels? And it did close bearish. Is this something, I claim I was able to see before it even happened? Of course, like I have the same kind of strategy on the lower time frame, so I will be able to say like, okay, I saw that thesis potentially happening. Did I act on it? No, because I still don't take swing trades, basically.
Okay,
Yeah,
it was just, yeah.
We're already over. It's 8:31. Damn.
Oh shoot! Dang, I was getting lost in the sauce, bro. You were like dropping knowledge over here. Didn't even realize.
Yeah, shit. We did not even run the giveaway too. I think we have to. We'll have to run it tomorrow. I actually forgot, but
okay.
Yeah, but yes, a little rug pull on you guys. Little soft rug pull, but we're gonna just do double the giveaway tomorrow. So yeah, it was an amazing session with you, Terrence. I love talking to you also with because I know you have that athlete mindset, and there's so much I need to learn from you in terms of what you know and what you did in the past. I think there's a lot of value in what you say. And yeah, we took 2 trades today. I took a trade, so I took a long, ended up being stopped out, and also Terrence took a short, ended up being stopped out. So that tells you a lot about the action. If both of us got stopped and the price did not really run anywhere, it's pretty much a sign that the price was chopping. But any closing words, Terrence?
Man, well, Amos, always such a pleasure, man. It really is. Like, it's great hearing your insight. Likewise, I feel like I'm really excited to learn more and more from you as we continue to both develop as traders. Excited to find a strategy with the stream that we talked about earlier on, chat. And then one last thing, Amos. I know we're getting close to time. Do you think we have time for one super quick giveaway? I'm talking like 30 seconds.
Let's. I was gonna do double the giveaways tomorrow, but we can do it. Just wait. We're just gonna pick up two. Can we do that, Tony? Can we pick up like two people from the same word?
Oh, we got the It's
We can do
working.
that. Okay, let's do it then. Okay.
We got the bot on the Asia now.
Yeah, we do. I'll type the word.
I love it. Here we go, chat. A couple giveaways. Amos out here dropping knowledge, and we're doing giveaways too. Here we go.
Yeah, try to guess the word, chat. Shit. Cut. No, it's not cut. Yeah, the word is absolutely rug pull. Bro, I saw it twice before actually being able to send it to Tony, but the word is rug pull. We're gonna select two people here to win 150k select accounts. So we appreciate you so much for being there, tuning in, and being the best chat. You guys are so active; it's crazy. You see, Terrence, it was not a lie. Like we can't really keep up with the pace of the chat sometimes.
Man, I know Asia chat did not disappoint. So I appreciate you guys, man.
Definitely not.
Such a pleasant. Looking forward to being here Mondays and Wednesdays for the month of August. So thank you, Amos.
Yeah, I'm glad you're there, bro. I'm glad you're there for sure.
For sure, bro.
You were my number one overall pick. That's for sure. I was like, if we have a draft, you gotta be number one.
Man, a blessing, bro. I appreciate it. This session was my number one too. So I didn't get picked up by the Alouettes, so at least I got Amos's number one pick. So
let's go.
That's a competition right there.
All right, we can select the winners right now.
Tradeis 100k.
Tradeis 100k. Congrats, my brother. Let's do the other winner.
Congrats, my brother. Brett, my brother.
Brett, my brother. Terrence, my brother. That's Terrence, my brother.
Yeah. Liam Hill.
So yeah, Liam Hill and Trades 100k. Congrats, you won 100. No, so each one of you guys won a 150k select account from Tradeify. It was a blessing to be with y'all today. I see you guys tomorrow at the same exact time. Peace out, guys.
Peace.